Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another mastermind session. Today we have a very special guest with us. He is just 18 years old and he is making over $5,000 per month. Please welcome Hessel. We have Yuri, we have Ron, and today we're going to discuss your story. We're going to get into how you got into YouTube automation, how you were able to generate such a crazy amount of money each single month. So if you want to just give us your backstory and yeah.
I guess the backstory, it started in 2020. I wanted to start an online business, you know. I tried dropshipping, I tried CPM marketing, didn't really work out. Of course, I was young back then, like 15, 40 years old. So, you know, the possibilities are limited. But in 2020, actually in 2019, I stumbled across a channel of Yuri. He is also here. He had a Make Money Online channel, and suddenly he made a video about like a whole new niche on YouTube. You didn't need an audience, super easy to record videos, super short. I didn't need to hire anyone. So I was like, okay, I can just start this business without any money, without like any investment up front. I'll just message him. Let's see if he reacts. And he actually sent me a message. He just reacted, and he is also from the Netherlands. I'm from the Netherlands too. So it was easy to chat, right? So I got into that business, which was a YouTube channel with like tutorials, short videos, easy to make. It took me 8 months to get monetized, so it wasn't like overnight success, especially like 2020, you know, you all know what happened there. I had a lot of spare time. That's actually what made me decide to go into YouTube, because I knew it would take a very long time. It would take a lot of effort to make those videos. But yeah, eventually it worked. It took quite a long time, you know, 8 months, but I was a beginner. You make mistakes, and if you're not going to, if you stop right away, you're never going to like finish anything.
So tell us, how did you get started with the first videos? Because like I'm sure a lot of people are watching this and they're like, I don't have money to start, but I don't want to show my face. So how do I make my first kind of these faceless videos, tutorials, or whatever you want to like call them? How did you get started?
So when I got started, I was like, I don't want to spend any money. So I used to find the topics, I used the YouTube search bar itself. So just typing how to, and then based on the predictions, you find topics you can create. I made a thumbnail with Canva, like a free version of Canva. Very basic, but yeah, it did a job, like making simple thumbnails, and it worked. For the editing, I used some like free editing software on the internet. Super simple. Like with those videos, it's so beginner friendly because it doesn't require heavy editing. No like crazy thumbnails, clickbaity thumbnails, just very simple thing. So the barrier to entry is very low, and that's basically it to get started. If you don't have any money, that's what I would advise, and that's the road I took.
And how many videos did you make when you did everything yourself, like a day or a week?
Well, I was still in school, so it wasn't really consistent. That's also a thing in this niche. You don't have to upload every single day. You can just upload, let's say, 24 videos a day, then do nothing for 2 weeks straight, and you'll be fine. Like, you don't really build an audience. It's based on YouTube search. So I think before I got monetized, I already had like 600 videos on the channel.
What had you keep going? Because 600 videos is like a crazy amount. So you made 600 videos and you didn't make a single penny. So what's the reason you decided to keep that going?
Well, you know, I had proof of concept because I knew you, a lot of other like tutorial channels who were performing really well. And I mean, I didn't get any revenue, like I didn't make any money, but the views kept growing and growing. So I knew if I just keep on going, this already tells me if I'm monetized, I will be making that $5 to $10 to $20 a month, or a day, I should say. Because back then I wasn't making any money. Even $10 a day looks like heaven, right? If you know what I mean. But it's just that you can see other channels growing, because, you know, I had a lot of contact with you. You had already monetized channel in a similar niche, and also just the views itself. If the views grow, revenue will come.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's also a good example that it doesn't come overnight, you know. Hessel needed to wait 8 months to get monetized, and I think it's good for people to understand, like, the YouTube automation, especially with search engine, it takes a lot, like search-based content. It takes a lot of time, but also with browser suggested, it takes time, or you need to get lucky. And the people that do get lucky, I don't think it's that many. it's still hard work.
But once your videos start ranking, it just keeps going.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the important part here to like for the viewer, because I mean Hessel then wasn't monetized for 8 months, but then as soon as he did, like from there on, you're just like you're good. Like you continue to have it. It's not like 8 months then you finally have something that works out. Like with dropshipping, I can assume it's like, oh, you finally got a product that works, but then it works for like a month maybe, and then you need to find something else. Whereas with you, Hessel, you've been continuing to make money over and over every single month, even with the same, like even with that work you put in the first 8 months where you weren't directly getting paid, you're now still getting paid a lot from the videos in those first 8 months, right?
Yeah, that's true. Like I didn't even realize it back then, but now I'm still having videos, like a few videos in kind of high CPM niches which are still generating me $1 to $2 every single day. And back then I didn't make any money from it, but because they are ranked, it's so like I didn't even realize it, but it's super powerful. Like how long will this continue? Will I still be making like $1 a day after 5 years with that same video? Like the ROI, it grows over time, your return on investment. So yeah, I wouldn't know any better niche or traffic source than YouTube search.
And I have another question. Like, what was your motivation to go on for 8 months without any results of like not monetization, like no money, and you still had school and everything? Like, what was your motivation to keep going?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything to lose. I was still living with my parents, no expenses, no big like, how do you call that? Like, I didn't have a lot to do. Like, I did like hobbies and stuff, but
Other people go gaming, for example, when they have nothing to do. Like, why did you choose to go and do this? Like, it's some sort of motivation, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a vision thing. I already knew like the Netherlands, very expensive country. Everything gets more expensive over time, but the salaries stay the same. So I was like, if I want to buy a house when I'm 25 or 30, if I'm going to find a job, that won't be possible, and that's already a problem, which is happening right now.
You started making these videos yourself first. You made 600 videos, 8 months, not a single penny, got your channel monetized, revenue started coming in. At what point did you decide that you need to hire other people to make the content for you?
Well, that motivation didn't come from wanting to scale, but it was like school was holding me back, because starting with it requires a lot of time. And I was still not 18, like I turned 18 this year, so I wasn't able to register as a business here. So every time I wanted to find some freelancers, I had to pay them with like cryptocurrency or PayPal or anything like that. Which makes it like, that's like really weird, and that's not a logical step to take. So when I turned 18, I registered that as a business here, so I could make an Upwork account, get a credit card, business stuff, all that set up, which was great. And when I graduated, actually this year, I had so much time, I decided to invest all of the money I earned in 2021 and 2020 into video production, which I started like 4 months ago. And that's basically where I got crazy and why I was able to scale it up to 5K a month right now. Because when I started doing that, I was at about 2K. So within a very short amount of time, I scaled it up because I'm now doing like 120 to 150 videos every single week, which is on a whole another level. And without like automating the processes, that wouldn't be possible.
Yeah. And how many people do you now have working for you, like doing the videos and everything?
Well, people who are really working for me under freelance contracts with me is about 14, but I have some people who are already outsourcing. So I don't even know who they are, but they also have their own teams. So more people involved, but not like direct in contact with me.
Did those people already have a team, or they like you hired the freelancer and then that freelancer noticed, hey, I can actually get a lot of work done, make money, and then they started their own team, or they already had it right away?
Yeah, but exactly like that. They wanted more, so they decided to create their own team, because most of the people are from Pakistan or India, so they easily can find like people from their own country who can do the same job as well.
it saves a lot of time as well. Like if they know someone that can do the job perfectly, they can instruct that guy. You don't have to do anything.
So look, you're 18, you're making more than your teachers. I assume you're still going to school.
Yeah.
What's your, like, what are your, not plans, I would say, but like, what are the next steps?
Well, the next steps are just keep on scaling the business right now. I mean, it works. I know I have experience in finding good topics. I'm now experienced in hiring good people, in managing them. I have managers set up everything. So like I've basically outsourced every part of the video production, which leaves me to a lot of time to invest in new projects. So one thing I'm very interested in is starting an affiliate marketing website, starting channels in other languages, which I'm already doing in Spanish. It works decently well. I'm looking to start in French as well. And just for some information, I don't speak Spanish and also no French. So I just hire someone who can do that for me on Upwork as well. And that with the website stuff, like I don't know anything about writing, blogging, promoting products on websites, but it looks like a very like independent way of making money. You're not dependent on YouTube itself, on ads. It's more of like something of yourself. And it's not like YouTube is bad, but you're still like, if YouTube decides to do something with your channel, you never know. It can happen. You're basically screwed. Like all the work is gone if they terminate your channel. If that happens.
But I think the big takeaway here is that for anyone watching, if you are even 17 years old, right, and you are coming up with all sorts of excuses like, oh, but I'm not 18 or I can't do it, but I love playing this video game. Well, then don't complain that you're not making enough money, or you can't break off from your parents, or you can't have independence, or whatever it is, because we have a real life example here. I mean, I was not like this. When I was 18 years old, guys, I was the complete opposite of this, you know? I don't want to even go into detail what I was doing when I was 18 years old, but I was not doing this, right? So this is just, I think, a very big motivation, Hessel. You are like, you know, for anyone watching who is 18 or whatever, and they want to start some kind of a business. In my opinion, and I think you guys would agree as well, I mean, that's what we're doing here, right? YouTube right now, and we discussed this yesterday as well with you, that is one of the best opportunities right now for anyone to start. Right?
Definitely.
Because
Definitely.
a lot of people are getting into drop shipping, e-commerce. Ron and I, we've both been in e-commerce, right? And like, for some reason, we kind of end up in this like YouTube game. It kind of sways us back here, you know?
I agree, but people also need to imagine, like he did 8 months, all the work himself, next to school. Like it's some serious dedication. And I think...
But that's what it takes, man.
Exactly. And that's something people need to understand. Like if you really want to succeed and get to the same level, you need to make some sacrifices. And it's not like things don't come themselves, you know? You need to work for it. And this is the perfect example what Hessel did.
Everyone just look at the camera. 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time.